Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating it's Thursday, June 14th, 2018. Happy Flag Day. In both the Lynn Life and the Jamie Body Mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions, and all other souls from all other dimensions, as long as the souls are already living by the search for truth rules given to the search for truth community by wiser minds above all of us. And those rules include contributing more to completing the various and sundry assignments given to the search for truth community by wiser minds above all of us than we as individuals take or use or borrow in search for truth resources.
There's a good opening.
There's a good opening. It's important to remember that others have it worse than we do, and this is true for all of us who are listening to, watching, or participating in this video. There are presences who have it significantly worse than we do. 22 million children a year, just on this little backwater planet and in one species. 22 million children a year are sold into sex slavery. They have it worse. I think we can all agree those 22 million sold into sex slavery have it worse than we do. And that doesn't include all the sex slavery of all the other species. If you think about domesticated animals and their food production, that's all. It's rape cultures, and we're supporting it, so they have it worse. Clearly they have it worse.
That's true.
That's just one topic in one dimension in one planet. What about the cells? The cells have it a lot worse in this era of GMO'd foods and toxicity, and that's again just on this one planet. We don't have to stretch to find a lot of presences who have a lot worse problems. Just in 30 seconds we can get to an awful lot of difficulties. Our problems are clearly not the worst.
That's true.
What now to evacuate the even deeper, denser dimensions? What now to reestablish upward flow? We can pump up energy from the deepest place in the search for truth pillar, where people are actually working, souls, presences are actually working to evacuate the even deeper, denser dimensions, and in such a way to reestablish upward flow. And pump that energy up the spines as high up as we're able to connect with right now, to the highest place in the pillar where people are actually working, souls are actually working to reestablish upward flow. We could do that.
That's true.
What now to evacuate the even deeper, denser dimensions? What now to reestablish upward flow? What now? Just keep pumping. I got hit by a droplet of something. Oh, interesting. What now to reestablish upward flow? There's good upward flow. There's good flow right now. There's actually good flow. We've got a lot of upward flow right now. What now to break the cycles of corruption in all dimensions and for all categories of sentience?
Stretch higher.
We can stretch longer and pump up higher. There's no answer to the inquiry of how to break the cycles of corruption.
That's true.
There's no answer to the inquiries of how to evacuate the depths other than pointing out, hey, you've got some good openings right now, and we do. And for that we're very grateful, so we can pump up right now an awful lot.
That's true.
Well, one way of thinking about it would be that today's assignment in some way is to reestablish working interdimensional relationships.
That's true.
We could go with that. What now to reestablish working interdimensional relationships? There's interest in that.
That's true.
What now to reestablish working interdimensional relationships? We can even bifurcate all of us who really want to. Well, I think that's not right, because the underlying assignment is much more about evacuating the depths and reestablishing upward flow.
That's true.
So there might be many souls here who are simply interested in that foundational assignment and who are not interested in reestablishing working interdimensional relationships. And,
That's true.
and we want those souls here working on the foundational assignments.
That's true.
What now? Let's groom the channels up. What now? How about all of us who want to look up to wiser minds above, ask up what now in order to accomplish any of our various soul plan assignments, and then do what wiser minds above say to do. All of us who really want to do that, to the search for truth, central axis, and all others flung away. I think that's a foundational call that is always appropriate. What now? We can also tune, nothing matters more than survival of the truth. Nothing matters more than survival of the truth. There's argument on that, so we'll have to ask the question, does anything matter more than survival of the truth? And I can hear the question ricocheting up, like bouncing off the walls of a tube.
That's true.
Does anything matter more than survival of the truth? I can feel a big hand. It's as if the hand is squeezing or compressing planet Earth, ground zero.
That's true.
To send up the souls of the dead. They said send up the souls of the damned.
That's what they said. Send up the souls of the damned.
Send up the souls of the damned. Wonder what in the world that means. All right. Anything that creates upward flow, we're on board with.
That's true.
Let's squeeze planet Earth to send up the souls of the damned, quote unquote.
There's a huge
huge upflow. We're supposed to say what we notice. We notice that what was a clear blue sky day is now both overcast and smoky.
That's true.
The blue sky has gone gray and smoky.
That's true.
And that it's very still. There's very little wind. And there's tiny little raindrops.
Very tiny.
That's what we notice. This is not Florida weather. We had Florida weather, and now we have not Florida weather. This is some other kind of weather. This is climate change expressing itself and pollution expressing itself.
That's true. Why do you ask?
Why do you ask? That's rain. We have a camera. What now to evacuate the even deeper, denser dimensions? Ah, I think I understand what just happened. When we came out, it was clear blue skies, and we began to film, and the skies changed, and then we had a big portal opened up, and all of a sudden it began to rain, kind of a downpour.
That's true.
In an area that really needs some rain. The water table is maybe 20 feet, at least 20 feet lower than it should be, to the point that big sinkholes are forming, and
that's true.
Land settling is a big problem in the area. So rain is a gift from God, basically.
That's true.
And we got this big portal open, and we have a downpour. We had to run for cover, which is totally fine and wonderful.
That's true.
And now we've come back and set up again so that we can just finish. And I think that was an answer to the inquiry of what now to reestablish working interdimensional relationships. Send in that which only divine presences can provide. Rain is a good example, but there are other things also. To send in from above the good things.
That's true.
It helps. It actually does help. Meanwhile, we can pump up from the depths, and we can consider what we can do to send good things into ourselves, because to ourselves we are source, or the all that is. It's us. We are the all that is.
That's
we are the
true.
universe. We are those generic terms that are often used to relate to divinity when one doesn't want to create personal relationships with out-of-body presences.
That's true.
So to consider what can we do to give ourselves what they need. We can sleep enough, we can exercise enough, we can hydrate enough, and we can eat as healthily as we are able to eat. We can become vegetarian or even vegan,
That's
and we
true.
can avoid packaged foods. We can do a lot to treat ourselves with respect.
That's true.
And if we aren't willing to do it, then what does it say about us? All right, that's what we can do. This is something that each of us as individuals can do. We can bring good things to our own selves. We can all do this. And friends, clearly this is a win-win-win, right? Because when our cells suffer, our bodies suffer, and the residents of the body suffer. It's a lose-lose-lose to not care for the cells of the body, and it's a win-win-win to care for the cells of the body. Adequate sleep is a big thing, and sadly maybe 100 years ago when electricity was becoming easily available in some areas and not as easily available in others, it seems to have gotten very cool to stay up late at night showing off your electrical features.
That's true.
And now that everybody has electricity, that coolness of staying up late at night doesn't seem to have gone away. And the fact is that humans are diurnal, meaning they're adapted to live in the daytime.
That's true.
They're not nocturnal. If you doubt that, go find a place with a lot of sharp objects and walk around in the dark.
That's true.
And you'll discover reasonably quickly that you're not actually well adapted to be walking around in the dark.
That's true.
We are diurnal. We should get up with the sun and go to bed with the sun. And when electricity came into vogue, it became cool to do what the situation did not call for, to show off, to flaunt your electricity.
That's true.
And now that habit is still here, and it doesn't serve us well, and it's bad for our bodies and our minds and our souls and ourselves. And we can change. We can start going to bed earlier and getting up earlier. We can. And we can exercise. We can. And we can avoid meats and processed foods. We can. And we can drink a lot of water. We actually can. And in such a way, we can be bringers of good things to the smaller souls. And meanwhile, thank you for the rain.
Thank you for the rain.
Thank you for the rain. Thank you. And
Thank
friends, we
you.
can be grateful for the rain whenever it rains. There's always going to be somebody who's inconvenienced by the rain. Let's be glad that it's us and rise to the chance of having a good attitude about something that's actually sorely needed.
That's true.
Even though it's a little bit inconvenient to us as individuals to say thank you,
Thank you
for
for
the
the
rain.
rain.